Hey everyone, this is Michael of the Round No.1 YouTube channel. Welcome back to the channel. I think the most fitting word to describe John Cena's performance last night is veteran. The term acknowledges an athlete who has given decades to his craft, but whose body and condition inevitably signal the twilight of a career. It's not meant to diminish Cena's legacy, but to recognize that he was no longer in peak form. Now, I and we can probably agree that we've seen this story before. Ric Flair, for example, experienced a steep decline between 2000 and 2008. His full-time in-ring career effectively ended in 2008, though he continued sporadically until his final match in July 31st, 2022, about that many fans prefer not to revisit. Kenji Muto faced a similar trajectory. Years of high-impact moves, particularly the moonsault press, left him with severe knee damage. By 2007, he was reportedly taping his knee so heavily that it took an entire roll per match. And by the time of his retirement in 2023, backstage footage showed him wheelchair-bound after performances. Cena now joins that list after 23 years and 6 months. He closed out his competitive run with WWE. Hardcore fans may argue he looked strong enough to continue, but what I saw was a man approaching 50 who openly admitted his body was slowing down. He honored a promise to his audience that he would retire when he fell a step behind, rather than risk fans being shortchanged. Now, I'm 40, and I remember Hulk Hogan's return to the WWE at age 48 after collecting his WCW payout. Hogan looked fantastic and moved surprisingly well for his age. By contrast, Cena at 48 shows clear signs of physical decline. His physique has lost its edge, his complexion looks worn, and his overall health seems diminished. Now, none of this erases Cena's accomplishments. He's a 17-time world champion, a cornerstone of WWE's modern era, and a performer who carried the company through transitional years. But last night confirmed what he himself acknowledged. The time for full-time competition has passed. Now, the storytelling around John Cena's retirement is something I have been tearing apart on this program for months, and frankly, I'm stunned WWE botched a storyline that should have been simple to execute. Whether they wanted to start Cena as a hero, turn heel, and then end up as a hero, they had nearly a year to plan, and yet the creative direction felt rushed and hollow. Take the recent tournament to determine Cena's final opponent. It made absolutely no sense. First, Gunther didn't retire Cena because the match was already built in advance as Cena's last. Second, there was no storyline foundation to justify the match. And third, Gunther gained nothing of real value from the win. Beating Cena in a pre-announced retirement match isn't a prize, it's formality. Sure, Gunther could walk onto Raw this Monday and brag that he retired both Cena and Goldberg, but that's empty talk. There's no prestige in defeating opponents who are already on their way out. Meanwhile, other stars outside the tournament, such as Dominic Mysterio, is now holding double championships. Brock Lesnar defeated John Cena before Dominic and Gunther. And then you have Braun Breaker, who is being booked for a World Heavyweight title match in January 2026, who has far more storyline leverage than Gunther ever got from retiring Cena. Now, as for The Rock and Travis Scott, I don't blame either of them for stepping back from the roles. I understand the fan backlash, why The Rock gets the heat, why Travis Scott gets the heat, but leaving the chief content officer out of the conversation feels incomplete. When the chief content officer claims John Cena is part of the creative process and then Cena himself says he just shows up and does what he's told, it leaves me scratching my head. Like, why are these conflicting statements even being made? So, my stance now is simple. Creative direction at a level shared, it's never just one person pulling the strings. In the end, WWE managed to turn what should have been a career-defining standoff into a creative dead end. So, to close this out, let's settle the question on whether John Cena deserves the label of GOAT. Someone recently claimed on camera that WWE wouldn't be where it is today without Cena, and honestly, that's one of the most exaggerated comments I've ever heard. Now, if you're an adult, I didn't want to use the term exaggerate. I wanted to use another term. You probably know what it is, but I'm not going to say it. So anyways, I'm 40 years old. I lived through the partway through the end of the golden era of the 80s. I experienced the lean years when WrestleMania scaled back to arenas, the Attitude Era, the company going public, WrestleMania returning to stadiums, and the launch of WWE 24/7, the video on demand channel, and the WWE Network. I can say truthfully, WWE would be financially fine today even if Cena had never existed. Cena benefited from the groundwork laid by the true trailblazers, such as Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Iron Sheik, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, people forget how crucial The Rock was in carrying WWE when Austin was sidelined with his neck injury. And that importance to me was recognized in 2024 when Vince McMahon gave The Rock, whose real name Dwayne Johnson, a major stake in TKO Group Holdings, which is WWE's parent company. The stock, that stock was initially valued at $30 million, has since doubled to over $60 million, cementing The Rock as a key shareholder and board member alongside Linda, Stephanie, Vince, and Ari Emanuel. Cena, by contrast, spent 23 years riding the momentum created by those legends. He never had to shoulder a WWE that was failing or close to collapse. His main advantage in the GOAT conversation is longevity. The Rock retired full-time at 30. Austin stepped away at 38. Hogan left WWE at 40 and reinvented himself with the NWO at 42. Cena, meanwhile, stayed full-time until 48 years old, taking bumps week after week because he didn't have the outside opportunities that Rock, Hogan, and Austin seized. So yes, by sheer endurance, Cena earns the GOAT label in my eyes and in the eyes of many fans and the WWE itself. But it's a different kind of greatness, defined less by carrying the company through crisis and more by being the workhorse who never stops showing up. Okay, so tell me what you think of my opinion. Thanks for listening to this upload here on the Round No.1 YouTube channel. See you guys soon.